So it's 2023. If you're looking at a Fujifilm camera, the X-T5 is out, the X-H2 is out, the X-H2S, those are all really nice cameras. But should you consider the X-T4 in 2023? Well, to give you the quick answer, yes, you probably should. But let's talk about why exactly. Now, the X-T4 didn't come out that long ago. It was 2020, which I suppose realistically is 3 years ago, which I kind of can't believe. But the actual camera still feels like a modern camera. It feels the way you'd expect a camera that comes out around now to feel. That's in terms of the actual way the camera literally feels in the hands, but also the way the menus work, the design with the flip out screen, the EVF, the specs as well. And that's all really, really important. Now, what you're gonna get out of a camera like this, or really any camera, depends a little bit on the kind of thing that you shoot. And the X-T4 in particular is a very good hybrid camera. It's great for stills, and it's great for video as well. And where this changes from the X-T3 and actually from the X-T5 as well, in a big way, is the screen. It's a flip out screen, it flips completely round, which the X-T3 screen doesn't, and the X-T5 screen doesn't. The X-T5 screen is much like the X-T3, where it just flips down or flips up, whereas this flips out and flips all the way around. So if you're a content creator, if you're someone who shoots videos like I do, that's super helpful because you can see yourself in the screen. Now, it doesn't have as much resolution to play with as something like the X-T5, but it still has 26 megapixels. And that's still more than a lot of cameras that I would still consider to be really good has. Now, it's an APS-C sensor, but 26 megapixels, that's a lot of detail for you to play around with. That means you can comfortably crop your images without worrying about losing too much detail. You also have amazing colors in this. Fujifilm colors are always just outstanding. That's certainly no different here. You know, we're realistically talking about one generation in the past, so you're really getting a huge amount out of a camera like this. You've got the film simulations that if you've used Fujifilm cameras before, you'll know and love. If you haven't used them, they are a great way of getting some out of camera lovely, lovely images. And if you shoot video as well, you've got things like the Film Eterna look, which looks just so good. So 26 megapixels for stills. What about autofocus? Well, it's really quite snappy. It's really quite sticky as well. It's able to track your face, your eye detection. This is really able to hold its own. Now, is it gonna be as quick and as reliable as a camera that came out in the last sort of few months? No, it's not. But I don't think, unless you're really, really pushing it to its limits, that you're probably gonna see that much of a difference. Unless you're shooting specifically wildlife, sports, stuff with very fast moving subjects, stuff where you need to track things all the time. I don't know if you're gonna notice that much of a difference. And I think a camera like this is gonna work extremely well. Now, that's true for photo and of course for video as well. And something else that really helps with video is the image stabilization that you have in this camera. 6 stops in the camera, 6.5 stops if you pair it up with a lens that has OIS as well. That's a lot. That's a lot of image stabilization. That means you can shoot video handheld very reliably. I did when I reviewed it at the time. I've tried it out again now. It just works so well, and that's great, especially if you're a solo shooter who just wants a run and gun approach, wants to be able to go out, shoot with this camera, maybe a promo video, something for a small business, or even just for yourself. It's such a useful thing to be able to do, and then you just pop it on a gimbal if you want that added stability. In terms of video specs, you're looking at 4K 60, which in a camera that you can get at this price, not bad. Full HD at 240 frames a second. You're looking at 10-bit 420 internal or 10-bit 422 external. So you've got some real professional video specs that you can be playing around with there. You've got F-Log in the camera as well. So if you're into grading your footage, this is gonna look fantastic. You know, I loved using this camera in 2020. I'm loving using it now. It feels like a modern camera. Now, in terms of the design, the X series cameras are always, they have a specific look. This is no different. It looks really good. I just really, really like them. I like the dials on the top. I like the way it feels. I like the little grip here. Like I mentioned before, you've got the flip out screen, but the EVF looks good as well. You've got a nice little switch here for stills and movie. Otherwise, everything is fairly ergonomic. You've got a nice D-pad for controls on the back, plus the joystick. I prefer the joystick. Some people prefer the D-pad. You've got both. Lovely, best of both worlds. Otherwise, there's not too much clutter going on here in terms of the actual controls. 2 card slots as well, so this can absolutely be used in a professional capacity. I could see myself using this for professional photography or videography. There's a lot that you can do with this, and I would be very comfortable doing it. Of course, a huge part of the kind of results you're gonna get is the lenses, and Fujifilm have loads of great XF lenses for a camera like this one. And if you go for a used one like this, well, then you can save yourself some money and get a really nice lens to go with it. Arguably, the lens is even more important. So should you consider buying an X-T4 in 2023? Absolutely, I would say, because you can save a bit of money, you get an extremely capable camera. I mean, I've talked about cameras like the Canon 80D, right? Should you consider a Canon 80D? This is miles apart from something like that. This is an incredibly good camera that really only came out 1 generation ago. We're talking 3 years ago, just an extremely good option. Like I say, photo, video, you're gonna get the most out of this as a hybrid shooter. Save yourself some money, get a nice lens. You've got a great setup, go for it. Now at the moment we have X-T4s in our used department. I'll pop a link so you can go check those out for yourself. But of course, just head over to our used department on parcameras.com. Again, link down in the description so you can check out our whole used department. There's loads of stuff over there to check out. Whether you shoot Fujifilm, whether you shoot something else, whether you want a lens, a camera, whatever it is, head over there. There's a lot to look for. Like I say, links down in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got new content all the time, new tutorials, reviews, looking at older cameras, all kinds of stuff. I'll be seeing you in the next video, but until then, as always, thanks for watching.